Welcome to Gapology Radio with your hosts, Mark Tinas and Brian Brockhoff. This is your podcast covering tactics for creating winning leadership and sustainable winning organizations. Discover more information detailed in their books, Gapology, IMBAR, and their newest release, Speed of Purpose. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Gapology Radio. This is your podcast on everything leadership. Let's go ahead and jump in right away and give Mark Tinas a call.
Hey Brian.
Hey Mark, how are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
Doing really good, really good. You know, I was just on Podbean, which is our, I guess you call it the aggregator for our podcast, and that distributes it out to Spotify and all the other podcast apps out there. And I was looking at our current results. I don't know if you know this. We have, as of today, 5,764 listens to our podcast.
Wow.
I know,
congrats.
Isn't that amazing?
That's great.
It actually really blew me away. I mean, I know a lot of people comment on it, and we hear feedback, time and again. But 5,764, that number is huge.
Yeah, and growing every day.
Every day. 307 in the last 30 days.
Yeah, super.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Super, yeah.
So what would you like to cover today?
Well, so I heard a wise man say the other day,
okay,
when the why, W-H-Y, when the why is big enough, the how gets easy. And I started thinking about that, and wow, what a sync to Speed of Purpose and things we've been talking about. So I thought I would share that simple lesson with the group.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
Yeah, so let's just jump in. I sort of broke it into three segments. So the first here would be just talking about the why. So W-H-Y. The why is the purpose. It's the reason that we do whatever we do. If you run an organization, it's the reason you come to work. It's the reason you work hard. It's the reason you put in that extra, discretionary effort to make it happen. And the winning leaders know how to make the why big and meaningful, and again, provide purpose to the team. So people always want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And we talked about this in Speed of Purpose, and talked about the fact that you could achieve 2.8 times productivity really by having a why that's bigger, than the individual. So I thought I would just open with that because it's very clear to me, and in the studies we've done, that this works. So what do you think?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think, if you think back on toward the end of the last podcast, we were talking about just impacting teams for the next 100 years. I think you shared about, impacting someone's grandchildren. When you connect the why, it really can impact teams for 100 years.
Yeah. So the second part of that initial sentence, when the why is big enough, the how gets easy. Well, how does that get easy? Well, action happens when the why is big. Because when the why is big, that means the importance gaps are closed. So the knowledge gap's closed, the importance gap's closed. That creates action. And that is how the how gets easy. So picture a team that knows they want to do something big. That's the hardest part. Sitting around the table and figuring out how to get there becomes easy once the how is of great significance to the team. All the planning and everything will come once that the why is in place, once that purpose is in place. So it's really a Gapology lesson in addition to a Speed of Purpose lesson.
Oh yeah, they're definitely connected. I think if the purpose is there, Gapology becomes really easy. Because you put forth that discretionary effort, you're not willing to give up. You're going to work extra hard to make sure that all those gaps are closed.
Yeah, and once the gaps are closed, again, action happens. Yeah. And it's the right action because it's built upon this significant why this significant purpose. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
It's a total game changer. So how do the winning leaders do it? They sort of paint the why so that everybody can see it. It's clear to everybody. There's many ways to do that, and we talk about them in detail in our newest book, Speed of Purpose. We talk about how leaders have a rhythm, their own weekly rhythm, that makes the why very clear. Leaders often don't think about that, but their rhythm, what they do and what they don't do, makes the why clear. We talk about rituals and how what we celebrate through rituals makes the why clear. And those two things are incredibly powerful, and they are missed in our studies by most leaders. They do not have a rhythm, therefore they're not predictable, and they do not celebrate consistently the why. And those two things are simple, and you can change those immediately and change the behavior of the team that you're working with. I'll pause there for a moment, Brian, let you comment on those, and then I've got a few more.
Yeah, I think leaders underestimate the impact that they have with their rituals and their rhythm. When you're looking at the things that you have to do as a worker, your boss sets the standard. So, if he says something's important and his actions support that, that becomes important to you.
Yeah, so true. So true. So the other big thing that we found that the winning leaders are doing to make the why big is they tie everyone's role to it. So every job description, every role, no matter how big of a role or small of a role within the organization, that role ties to the why. It ties to the purpose. And in doing so, they make every single role significant. They make it matter. And that is how you make the why big. And by doing that and making the why big, you make the how easy.
Yeah, I just think, everyone has to be connected to the purpose on a team. You can't have those stragglers that aren't connected. Otherwise you're not going to really achieve the things that you want to achieve with purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple of other things that we saw very consistently. The winning leaders knew how to measure the why. They had developed metrics and set expectations of both metrics and behaviors around the why. So the why became clear because it was measurable. It was obvious. And by really having expectations around this big thing, they moved the team to action immediately. The other thing that they did is they defined excellence in relation to the why. What's great look like? What's excellence look like? They defined it. They called it out. Whether it was a picture of something that represented it, or whether it was a behavior that represented it, or whether it was a set of metrics, excellence was clearly defined in the eyes of the team. So the why became clear, and that's how they got it done. It was clear.
Yeah, if you don't define it, then you're just hoping that you achieve it. You have to know what you're doing, know where you're going, the process or the progress towards that. It also gives you information on, what are the things that we need to celebrate? And then what are the things that we need to course correct? If you don't measure it, you're not going to know.
Yeah, we saw a lot of exception reporting in the winning leaders where the top performances were clearly highlighted and separated from the rest. And again, just to make it clear to the team that the why mattered.
Yep.
The last piece that we saw that was missing in most leaders was tying the systems back to the why, so that no matter how someone interacted with this why, the big thing, the systems aligned and brought it to life. Whether it was customer interaction, whether it was the team's interaction, you have to get everyone involved. So the IT group, who may be the ones responsible for the system, were part of creating the why, so that it all flowed together. If the Uber app doesn't work, it doesn't matter how good the driver drives the car, you never get in the car to drive with the Uber driver.
Yeah, right.
So the system has to work. So the system has to represent the why. So we thought we would share these things with you because they really create action in the team, the right action in the team, and again, by making the why big enough, the how gets easy.
Yeah, I've been thinking during this whole thing so far that, if you think about back in 2008 when we started this journey on, putting Gapology into a book and then doing workshops and doing podcasts and doing all these things and then all these other books that we've done, we didn't know how to do any of this to begin with. It was all brand new. But we never really worried about the how. How are we going to pull this stuff together? How are we going to do this stuff? We just knew that our purpose was big enough to overcome that knowledge gap that we had. So we figured it out. We worked hard, and we've been doing this stuff, for a while now. And it is easy because it's something that we care about. Helping leaders achieve their greatest potential is our purpose statement. And everything that we do, everything that we've done since 2008 really has been with that in mind.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a great example. I hadn't really thought of it relating to our work. But yeah, once we knew the why, the how became easy.
Yep.
And the why was big. I got a call yesterday, sort of out of the blue, from a leader. And he said, I just wanted to tell you I've made it through Gapology on Audible. It's awesome. I'm almost through Speed of Purpose. He said, I've already begun applying all of this to my business, and my business is crazy booming. And it's really helped me a great deal.
Oh, wow.
We're going to sit down and have coffee next week, and I'm going to see how else I can help them grow their business. But simply by applying the basic principles of Gapology, you can move your business, your organization forward. Speed of Purpose is sort of another icing on the cake. But, man, I tell you, I listened to the introduction on Gapology, which you recorded your voice, and congratulations on that. It was wonderful. But that introduction of Gapology, just by listening to that, affected my day that day. It affected the things that I did. I learned so much by listening to words that I had written.
Yeah.
By hearing you say them, that introduction is incredibly powerful. So if any of you haven't heard Gapology on Audible, it's so easy to do. And again, you can come right back to the chapter that you want to hear. But I would challenge you to go to that introduction and play it over and over again, and you'll see that every time you can get different things out of it and learn and grow from there. So
yeah, oh yeah. Actually, going through and reading it aloud really made me see everything through a slightly different lens. It's different than just reading it, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy good.
Yep.
So I love it. Well,
awesome.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Yep. Thanks a lot, Mark. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, talk to you then.
Yeah, bye. All right, that'll do it from here. Remember, if you'd like virtual training for your team on Gapology, IMBAR, or Speed of Purpose, let us know. Head on over to our website, gapology.org, for more information. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.